Right, hello YouTube, welcome. Hi. Hope you're doing great. So I kind of messed up earlier, so I'm re-recording this. There was basically a roadmap live stream for Limbus company. I'm not gonna go over everything, but I'm gonna give you kind of like the important information from here. Okay. So first of all, basically, we kind of have an idea as to what's going on. The season 6 Mirror for Immortality is gonna be slowly rolled out in the future. And this is going to be a 7 Sinner chain battles, okay? So just like for Canto 8, we are going to be getting 7 characters combat during Mirror of Immortality. They're also reworking a bunch of stuff, like how you can use the Starlight bonuses. You can use them for a variety of things rather than just, you know, starting bonuses. You can also get like special Lego gifts. You can refresh your shop and stuff like that. So this is pretty interesting. Now, moving from Mirror Dungeon, after it, we will be getting some intervallo. The thing to keep in mind, specifically to the Mirror Dungeon, is that some of the Ego gifts won't be available from the get-go, and they will be added later from the intervallos that we'll be getting, as well as the Bokgak and Refraction Railway. Bokgak, I think, means revival. It's basically when they go back and do something from a previous intervallo and add stuff to the current gameplay, to the current game mode corresponding to that, right? So moving from that, they are also changing something else, and that is the fact that we can actually have a rental system for identities in the Mirror of Dungeon, which is very cool because sometimes if you're a newer player, you don't have a lot of characters that you can bring. So this is pretty nice that you just have some preset basically. Now, moving from the Mirror Dungeon, they kind of talked about the Walpurgis Nacht. It's going to be called Hatred and Despair, and obviously this is going to be tied to what's it called? Library of Ruina, because they always alternate. One time it's Library of Ruina, the other time it's going to be Loop to the Corporation, etc. etc. This time it's going to be Library of Ruina, and this is going to be themed around Reverberation Ensemble Second Encounter and the Black Silence. There is actually some spoilers for the late game of Library of Ruina, so I'm not going to play the video here, but you can definitely check it out if you want. And here also, we do know for sure that we're getting 2 identities and 1 ego. There might be changes or more, but this is at base value what we're getting. It's kind of hard to tell who this is here, but with the long hair like this and the breast, I would assume this is Rhodia, but it's, you know, who knows? This is just my speculation. Now, moving on from this is like all the videos. There's some merch stuff coming up. They're doing some merch regarding like this Walpurgis Night. They're still going to be doing some merch with Melee, actually. And now they're doing a Time-Killing Time Bokgak, which is a revival when they go back and do something with it. And we can see that we are actually going to get a Hubert announcer, as well as at least 1 identity and 1 ego. So this is pretty nice. Now, moving forward, they also talked about the season highlight identity, which is people call them the bad endings, right? So this is going to be Honglu. Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. This is still in development, but basically they're thinking of making him quite flexible with deployed as well as backup Heisho pack units. So this is going to work with in theory, with the Mao pack, with the Scene pack, with the Adept, right? And all of those characters. So that's pretty interesting. We don't see a lot here, but I'm looking forward to this for sure. Are you playing Winter Waves? Yeah, I'm just going over something here. Now, the first interval we're going to get, they only gave us a working title, which is the Hierarch Cess Maker. The reason why it's called this, it's a play on word because it's called a Princess Maker. It's a kind of games where you kind of just like, you are a girl and you're a princess and you have to make her like perfect and level her stats and social ability and stuff like that. So this was kind of teased in the epilogue of Canto 8. And basically, it's going to be making Jachishin into the perfect hierarch. So this is pretty cool. This should be coming afterward, which is very, very exciting in my opinion. We are also going to be getting a announcer pack for Wei, I do believe. This wants to load eventually. I don't know why this has so much trouble loading. So there we go. We're going to get a Chishan way and answer, which is great. And we will, at the very least, get one way identity, which I do believe is going to be Yi Sang. We saw that from the Hyarg, from basically Chishun Ishmael. And we'll also be getting another Aisho identity, which is very cool. We also know that Sinclair is going to be taking part in the classes for the Hyarg job training, basically. So there we go. So yeah, there we go. Then after that, they kind of talked about the Arknight collab. The Arknight collab is going to be later this year. There will be one announcer, 4 egos, and true limited banner, which I don't know what this means. I think this means that the 4 egos will be limited to this banner and it will never come back. So make sure to get those egos when the Arknight collab is here. There'll also be a revival of the Warp Train, which will allow us to get a PA system announcer, which is something. We'll be getting 2 IDs plus ego. They don't know yet if it's going to be either 1 ID, 1 ego, 2 IDs, or 2 egos, but we're getting at least 2 from the Warp Train intervallo. Then there's going to be a concert for Millie with some collab and stuff like that, and you know, collab merchandise, which is pretty cool. And for Canto 9, the idea is that the Unsevering, which is Canto for Ryoshu, is going to come out about mid-December. This is the target window, which means that we're not actually getting a second intervallo, but because Arknight is going to be relatively big, as big as an intervallo, basically we still get an intervallo. So we get the Chichun intervallo, Walpurgis Knights, we'll also be getting the Arknight collab, and then in theory we get Canto 9. Now, the one thing to keep in mind is that if for some reason it's not possible for them to actually release Canto 9 this year, they will push it back. That means we will get another intervallo to keep us waiting, essentially, as well as the railway thingy. So there we go. But the plan for now is to release it mid-December, and I guess we'll get more information in the future if for some reason it's not possible. Refraction railway, that's the thing. Now they kind of talk about quality of life with like UI improvements, better enemy passive readout by making it essentially the more important passive as shown first, which is kind of cool. They're also going to add a continuous system where you can spend lunacy to just revive your characters. If you do that, then you can't clear the EX mission of the things, but at least it allows you to get unstuck if you're really struggling. And for the work in progress, basically, they're still working on the skin. The fact that you can apply any skin from any ID to another ID. That way you can enjoy the ones you prefer. This is still a work in progress. And it's taking longer than expected because they're like trying to figure out the issues and like flatten the kinks, I guess. So this is something happening, but we'll get more information in the future. They gotta talk about space optimization. This is still something they're working on. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this. Now, they are saying that they will focus on doing story in the future, like they kind of said before. And then they kind of talk about how like the company has been working forward and everything going forward, about how he doesn't necessarily want to expand right away because he doesn't have the mental capacity and strength to have a larger team under him. And they don't also have the space for it right now. And this is something they might consider in the future once they get their new building, basically. So maybe this will come out in the future. But for now, apparently not, all right? And they want to focus on doing what they love and all of that. There we go. They kind of talked about how they don't want people to, you know, use pictures of employees. They talk about how they're hiring people. So if you're in South Korea, maybe you can try to apply. And finally, they also dropped a trailer. This is the last thing we're going to watch right now. They actually dropped a trailer for 2 new units, which is fantastic. So let's check it out right away.
Limbus company.
Oh my god. So we are getting 2 new IDs. We're getting, they link to Zhang Hua Yin, obviously season 6. And on one side, we're getting the Thumb East Capo Mersault, And on the right side, we can see the thumb is Soldato Sinclair. What is very interesting here is that for some reason, Sinclair is also a 3-star character of the highest rarity, right? Even though he's not even a named character, he's literally just a Soldato. He's just like one of the grunts. So I'm kind of surprised about that. I would have expected Sinclair here to be a 2-star. But yeah, let's look at them.
명령은 경청하고 있어요. 그저 감히 상급자와 눈이 맞지 않도록 시선을 아래로
He's
뒀다.
literally a grunt. I don't know why they made this a 3-star.
밤에는 다른
Like we
조직에
literally
대해
have no
공부하고
like 2-star characters so far in this
단체에 대해
season.
연구하고 그들의 계급을 대략적이나마 측정하려 노력하죠. 그래야만 예의를 다하지
He has like this
못하는
bayonet with like
줄일 수 있으니까요.
a thing that can like burn up to go faster.
보급해드리겠습니다.
And obviously
함부로
here
입을 놀리면
we get a big boy.
실수라도 신뢰를 범하는 법.
I think this guy is the one with the most excited for.
이 최고급 시가 세계의 가치와 마음.
Look at dude, the drip is crazy. Holy shit! Look at that. That's a hot boy Mersault for sure.
전탄을 소모해서 참격을 가할 땐
And he has his like a special like gun blade.
날려버린다는 생각도 들지만
You can activate the bullets to like give him more momentum.
시가보다 가치로운
So I'm
상대를
assuming
만날 때
these units are gonna be tremor burn,
더
basically.
가치 있는 일이지. 사냥감인가
Man, that music is so good.
끌어오르는군.
That's interesting. The sword literally reloads like a
전투
shotgun,
승도의
like a
이름을
revolver.
감추어야 한다는 점은
Revolver is more
다소
appropriate. Jan 3 stars
날개
blade.
돋은 듯한 호랑이의
Ah,
그
he took up the
속을
hat!
내비칠 수
Pig!
있으니 이 정도로 만족하지. 전력으로
Anyway, this looks absolutely awesome. I'm not a super big fan of Tremor in general. I don't know why. It seems too brutish. But I'm definitely gonna get this one. So yeah, there we go. 2 new identities, pretty exciting, and the roadmap was pretty fun. So I'm looking forward to all the new content we're gonna be getting in the future. So yeah, big hype.